Part 1. Questions 1 to 5. You will hear a conversation between two students at a university club fair. As you listen, complete the notes using the information you hear. Write one word and/or a number for each answer.
Wow, there are a lot more booths here than I expected.
I know. The student club fair seems bigger every year. I'm glad we came early.
Is this your first time attending?
No, I came last year. Back then it was held in the sports centre, but this year they've moved everything to Anderson Hall, which is much larger.
That explains why there seems to be so much space. Do you know how many clubs are participating?
According to the programme, there are 42 clubs here today. Last year there were only 35.
That's quite an increase. I'm hoping to find the photography club. I saw some of their pictures online.
Let me check the map. Here it is. The photography club is near the back of the hall. It's right next to the drama club.
Perfect. I might visit both. I've always wanted to try acting.
Really? Then you should also stay for the leadership workshop later.
What time does that start?
It begins at 2:30 p.m. in meeting room B. One of the student leaders from last year is giving the presentation.
That sounds useful.
It does. Oh, and don't forget to sign up for any clubs you're interested in today.
Why today specifically?
Because anyone who registers during the fair receives a free notebook. It's not a huge prize, but it's a nice bonus.
Good to know. I definitely won't forget then.
Listen to the conversation between Emma and Leo at a university club fair. Then answer questions 6 to 10. Choose the best answer, A, B, C, or D, according to the information in the conversation.
Speaking of clubs, have you thought about how much time you want to spend on extracurricular activities this semester?
Not really. I know I don't want to overload my schedule, but I'd like to join at least 1 or 2 clubs.
That's probably a good idea. During my first semester, I signed up for 4 different clubs.
4? That sounds like a lot.
It was. At first, I thought I could manage everything, but after a few weeks, keeping up with classes became difficult.
So what happened?
I eventually decided to focus on the activities I enjoyed most. It was a good lesson in managing my time.
I can see how that would happen. University already feels busier than high school.
It definitely is. That's why most students become more selective after their first year.
Well, the photography club still sounds appealing. I enjoy taking pictures when I travel, but I don't really know much about camera settings.
According to the brochure, they offer workshops for beginners as well as more advanced members.
That's encouraging. I'd feel intimidated if everyone were already an expert.
I wouldn't worry about that. Most clubs expect new members to have little or no experience.
That's good to hear.
Oh, look over there. That's the Environmental Club.
They have a huge display.
Yes, they're promoting a campus recycling campaign. Last year, they organised a project that reduced waste in several residence halls.
That's impressive. It must have taken a lot of planning.
Apparently, they worked with the university administration for months before launching it.
I like clubs that have a practical impact on the community.
Me too. That's one reason the Environmental Club has become more popular recently.
Have you ever participated in any of their projects?
Not personally, but one of my friends volunteers with them regularly. He says it's a great way to meet people from different departments.
That makes sense. Sometimes it's difficult to meet students outside your own classes.
Exactly.
By the way, what was your favourite club event last year?
That's an easy question. The Debate Society organised a regional competition. Teams from 6 universities attended.
Were you nervous?
Very. It was my first competition, and I wasn't expecting much. But our team actually finished second.
That's fantastic.
Thanks. It took weeks of preparation, though. We spent countless hours researching topics and practicing arguments.
It sounds like all that effort paid off.
I think so. More importantly, it helped me become more confident speaking in front of large groups.
Confidence is something I'd like to develop too.
Then you should definitely attend that leadership workshop later.
I probably will. Oh, I think I see the photography club booth now.
You're right. They have some impressive displays.
Wow, these photographs are amazing. Some of them look professional.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Look at this landscape photo. It's hard to believe a student took it.
According to this poster, it won a national student photography competition last year.
That's incredible.
It also says the club organises monthly photo walks around the city.
That sounds fun. It would be a good opportunity to practice.
And to explore new places at the same time.
I think I'm convinced. I'm going to sign up.
Me too. Why don't we talk to one of the club representatives and ask a few questions before we register?
Great idea. Let's go.
Part 2. Questions 11 to 15. Listen to a tour guide talking about Riverside Heritage Park and its history.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Riverside Heritage Park. My name is Olivia, and I'll be your guide today. Before we begin our tour, I'd like to tell you a little about the park and explain what we'll be doing over the next 2 hours. Riverside Heritage Park opened to the public in 1985, but the land has a much longer history. More than 100 years ago, this area was home to several factories that produced textiles and farming equipment. When the factories closed in the 1970s, many of the buildings were left empty. Local residents later worked with the city council to preserve some of the historic structures and transform the area into the park you see today. Our tour will start at the old stone warehouse behind me. It now serves as a museum and contains photographs, tools, and personal items donated by former factory workers and their families. After that, we'll walk along the Riverside Trail, where you'll have an opportunity to see several restored buildings and learn about the people who lived and worked here. One question visitors often ask is whether the original factory machines are still here. Most of them were removed many years ago, but a few examples can be seen inside the museum. They are among the most popular exhibits because they help visitors imagine what daily life was like during that period. As we continue through the park, please stay with the group. The paths are clearly marked, but it's easy to become distracted by the scenery. Many visitors enjoy photographing the river, especially near the wooden bridge, which offers one of the best views in the entire park. Before we finish, we'll stop at the visitor centre. There you'll find a small cafe, a gift shop, and a temporary exhibition featuring local artists. The exhibition changes every 3 months, so even regular visitors often find something new to enjoy. Finally, I'd like to mention that next month the park will host its annual Heritage Festival. The event will include historical demonstrations, live music, and guided tours led by former factory workers. If you're interested, information about tickets is available at the visitor centre. Now, if everyone is ready, let's begin our tour.
Questions 16 to 20. Listen to the tour guide as she continues describing Riverside Heritage Park.
Before we make our way to the museum, I'd like to draw your attention to several features of the park that are often overlooked by visitors. Many people come here for the scenery and the riverside walks, but some of the most interesting parts of the site are actually those with the strongest links to its history. First of all, if you look across the river, you'll see a small red brick building with a grey slate roof. Visitors often assume that it was used to store equipment or materials, but that wasn't actually the case. It originally served as the administrative office for the factory complex. Company records, employee information, and financial documents were all kept there. Today, the building contains a collection of historical maps that show how the area changed during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. These maps are especially popular with local residents who enjoy comparing the modern town with earlier versions of it.
A little farther along the path is the Workers' Garden. This section of the park was restored about 15 years ago after researchers discovered detailed records describing what local families used to grow. As a result, many of the vegetables, herbs and flowers you can see today are the same types that would have been found here more than a century ago. School groups frequently visit the garden because it provides a practical way of learning about everyday life during that period. Another feature that receives a great deal of attention is the series of information boards located throughout the park. These weren't part of the original design. In fact, they were installed quite recently after park managers realised that many visitors wanted to learn more about the people connected with the site. The boards include photographs, personal memories, and short interviews with former workers and residents. According to visitor surveys, these stories are often considered more memorable than the exhibits inside the museum itself. Now, for those of you who enjoy nature, the riverbank is worth exploring as well. The park supports a surprisingly wide range of wildlife. Birdwatchers in particular are attracted to this area because sightings are common throughout the year. During a survey carried out last spring, volunteers recorded over 40 species of birds within the boundaries of the park. Early morning tends to be the best time for observation, although some species can be seen throughout the day. Finally, I'd like to mention the observation tower near the northern entrance. It wasn't part of the original park, but was added during a major renovation project in 2018. The tower stands several metres above the surrounding landscape and offers excellent views of the river valley. On particularly clear days, visitors can even see the hills approximately 20 kilometres away. If you have time after the tour, I'd certainly recommend a visit. Before we continue, let me give you a few practical details. The museum closes at 5:30 each evening, while the visitor centre remains open until 6 o'clock. If you're interested in attending next month's Heritage Festival, tickets can be purchased from the information desk. The standard adult ticket costs £12, and discounted tickets are available for children and senior citizens. Right then, if everyone's ready, we'll proceed to our first stop, the Old Stone Warehouse, where you'll have an opportunity to see some of the original photographs from the factory era.
Part 3. Questions 21 to 25. Listen to the conversations and choose the correct letter, A, B, C, or D. Number 21.
Have you started preparing for Professor Wilson's history exam yet?
A little. I've reviewed my lecture notes, but I haven't looked at the reading list in detail.
Oh, that's what worries me. I spent most of last week working on another assignment, so I haven't had much time for revision.
The exam isn't until next Thursday, though.
True, but I was hoping to be further ahead by now. I think I'll have to spend most of this weekend studying.
What does the man indicate about his preparation for the exam? Number 22.
How was the new Italian restaurant you tried last night?
The food was excellent, and the staff were very friendly. The only problem was that we had to wait nearly 40 minutes for a table.
Did you have a reservation?
No, and I suppose that was our mistake. The place was much more popular than I expected.
Would you go back?
Definitely. Next time, I'll just book in advance.
What disappointed the woman about her visit? Number 23.
I saw your name on the list of students applying for the exchange program.
Yes, I've always wanted to study abroad for a semester.
Have you decided where you'd like to go?
Originally, I was interested in Spain, but after reading more about the partner universities, I'm leaning towards the Netherlands.
What changed your mind?
The courses there seem to match my degree better, and several of them are taught in English.
Why has the man changed his preference? Number 24.
Did you manage to get tickets for the music festival?
Not yet. I logged onto the website as soon as sales opened, but thousands of people were trying to buy tickets at the same time.
That must have been frustrating.
It was. By the time I reached the payment page, the website stopped working.
So, what will you do now?
The organisers said they might release another batch of tickets next week, so I'm going to try again.
Why was the woman unsuccessful in purchasing tickets? Number 25.
Have you noticed how busy Maple Street has become recently?
Yes, especially in the evenings. A few years ago, it was usually quite quiet after 6 o'clock.
I think the new shopping center has something to do with it.
Probably. On the other hand, it's nice to have more shops and cafes within walking distance.
That's true, but finding a parking space has become much more difficult.
I agree. My parents visited last weekend and they had to park several streets away from my house.
Do you think the neighborhood has changed for the better?
Overall, yes. It's certainly more lively than it used to be, even if there are a few inconveniences.
What is the man's opinion of the recent changes in the neighborhood? Questions 26 to 30. Listen to the talks and choose the correct letter, A, B, C, or D. Number 26.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to provide a brief update on the University Fitness Centre. Over the past few months, we've received feedback from students asking for longer opening hours, particularly during exam periods. After reviewing the results of a recent survey, the university has decided to keep the centre open until midnight from Monday to Thursday. We hope this change will make it easier for students to exercise around their academic schedules. In addition, several pieces of equipment have recently been replaced, and a new stretching area will open next month.
Why has the university extended the fitness centre's opening hours? Number 27.
Welcome to the Green Valley Wildlife Reserve. Before you begin exploring the park, I'd like to share a few important guidelines. Many visitors come here hoping to photograph animals in their natural habitat. While photography is encouraged, we ask guests to remain on marked paths at all times. In previous years, some people left the trails in an attempt to get closer to wildlife, which occasionally disturbed nesting areas. By staying on designated routes, visitors help protect both the animals and the environment. Information boards throughout the reserve provide suggestions about the best places to observe different species.
Why are visitors asked to stay on marked paths? Number 28.
Thank you for attending today's careers seminar. One topic students often ask about is work experience. Employers frequently receive applications from candidates with similar academic qualifications, so practical experience can make a significant difference. However, many students believe they need a prestigious internship to impress employers. In reality, part-time jobs, volunteer positions, and community projects can also demonstrate valuable skills such as teamwork, responsibility, and communication. The key is being able to explain what you learned from those experiences.
What point does the speaker make about work experience? Number 29.
As part of our neighbourhood improvement programme, the City Council recently installed several new bicycle racks near local shops and public buildings. The project was introduced after residents reported that they would cycle more often if secure parking were available. Although it is still too early to measure the long-term impact, initial observations suggest that bicycle use has increased in the area. The council is now considering additional measures, including improved cycling lanes and better lighting along popular routes.
Why were the bicycle racks installed? Number 30.
Good evening and welcome to the opening night of the Riverside Film Festival. This annual event celebrates independent filmmaking and attracts directors, actors and film enthusiasts from across the region. Over the next 4 days, visitors will have the opportunity to watch more than 30 films from 12 different countries. In addition to film screenings, the festival will include question and answer sessions with filmmakers, workshops on script writing, and discussions about current trends in the industry. Organisers hope these activities will encourage audiences to engage more deeply with the films they watch.
What is one purpose of the additional festival activities? Part 4. Questions 31 to 35. Listen to a student and her professor discussing a research project. Choose the correct letter, A, B, C, or D.
Good afternoon, Emily. Please come in and have a seat.
Thank you, Professor Harris.
I received your email about the research project. You mentioned that you were having some difficulty narrowing your topic.
Yes, that's right. My original plan was to investigate the impact of social media on university students, but the more articles I read, the more I realised how broad the topic is.
That's a common problem. Research projects often become more manageable when the focus is reduced. Have you considered concentrating on a particular aspect of social media use?
I have. Recently, I've become interested in how social media affects students' study habits. Several studies suggest that frequent interruptions from notifications can reduce concentration.
That sounds much more focused. Have you found enough academic sources to support that topic?
I think so. I've already collected around 15 journal articles, although I still need to evaluate which ones are most relevant.
Good. Remember that quality is more important than quantity. A smaller number of reliable sources is usually better than a large collection of less useful material.
I'll keep that in mind.
Have you thought about your research method?
Initially, I planned to distribute a questionnaire to students across the university. However, after reading several examples, I'm wondering whether interviews might provide more detailed information.
Interviews often produce richer responses, but they can take considerably longer to organise and analyse. How much time do you have available?
Not as much as I'd like. I also have 2 other major assignments due next month.
In that case, a questionnaire may be the more practical option. You would still include a few open-ended questions to gather additional comments from participants.
That's a good idea. It would give me both numerical data and personal opinions.
Exactly. What stage are you at with the literature review?
I've completed the first draft, but I'm not entirely satisfied with it. At the moment, it feels more like a summary of individual studies than a discussion of the overall findings.
That's an important observation. A strong literature review should compare and evaluate previous research rather than simply describe it. Try identifying common themes and differences among the studies you've read. I'll work on that this week. Excellent. And when do you expect to begin collecting data? If my proposal is approved, I'd like to start at the beginning of next month. That seems realistic. Just make sure you allow enough time for analysing the results before the final deadline. I will. Thank you for the advice. You're welcome. I look forward to seeing the next version of your project.
Number 31. Why did Emily decide to change her original research topic? Number 32. What topic is Emily most likely to focus on? Number 33. Why does the professor recommend using a questionnaire? Number 34. What weakness does Emily identify in her literature review? Number 35. What does the professor advise Emily to do before the final deadline? Questions 36 to 40. Listen to a university staff member welcoming new international students to the university. Choose the correct letter, A, B, C, or D.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Westbridge University. My name is Sarah Bennett, and on behalf of the university, I'd like to welcome all of our new international students. We are delighted that you've chosen to study here, and we hope your time with us will be both enjoyable and rewarding. Moving to a new country can be exciting, but it can also be challenging. Many students find that the first few weeks are the most difficult because everything is unfamiliar. You may need time to adjust to a different culture, teaching style, and daily routine. However, please remember that support is available whenever you need it. One of the first things you should do is attend the orientation events taking place throughout this week. These sessions are designed to help you become familiar with the campus and the services available to students. They also provide an excellent opportunity to meet people from different countries and make new friends before classes begin. I'd also like to mention the university's Academic Support Centre. Many international students are highly capable but may not be accustomed to the expectations of a British university. The centre offers workshops on essay writing, note-taking, research skills, and time management. These services are free of charge and available to all students. Outside the classroom, I encourage you to become involved in university life. There are over 100 student clubs and societies covering a wide range of interests, including sports, music, photography, volunteering, and debating. Joining a club is one of the easiest ways to meet people who share your interests.
Another important point concerns attendance. Students are expected to attend all scheduled classes unless there is a valid reason for absence. Regular attendance not only helps you keep up with your studies, but also contributes to a more successful university experience overall. Finally, don't forget to explore the city. Westbridge is known for its historic architecture, riverside parks, and lively cultural scene. During your time here, you'll have opportunities to attend festivals, concerts, exhibitions, and community events. Once again, welcome to Westbridge University. We wish you every success in your studies and hope you enjoy becoming part of our university community.
Number 36. Why does the speaker say the first few weeks may be difficult for new students? Number 37. What is one purpose of the orientation events? Number 38. Who is the Academic Support Centre intended to help? Number 39. Why does the speaker recommend joining a club or society? Number 40. What is the speaker's final recommendation?